After an enforced hiatus, we are back. I'm not sure I'm 100% match fit, although I'm not convinced I've been at that level since the late 1990s. Today, we're back for European adventures. We're taking on Milan in the semi-finals of the Europa League. So what have you missed while we've been away? Well, for starters, the first leg of the Europa semi-final against Milan, where we managed to win 3-1. Zakarian opened the scoring after 20 minutes, and after converting a penalty, Strawberry Daiquiri scored his second, our third of the evening, to put us 3-0 up. But just when we looked to be taking an unassailable lead to the San Siro for the second leg, we allowed them to run through and add a consolation goal on the night, but one that could be crucial for the second leg because it means that Milan only need to find 2 goals to force extra time as we both try to chase a probable final against PSG. But we've also been involved in 2 Serie A games since our last episode where we whimpered to a heavy defeat to Internazionale. In our next game, we played a Napoli side who are themselves chasing Champions League football. We took the lead early, but then Napoli drew level. Gaia put us back into the lead from the spot on 76 minutes, and the game was made comfortable on 85 as Rodriguez managed to score a third for us for a good victory against a strong side. After the Napoli game, we had 4 left to play, and the first was against Udinese. Unfortunately, they scored after 20 minutes. But despite dominating the game, the players looked tired. We equalised on 52 minutes, but could only see out a 1-1 draw, all of which leaves us with 4 or potentially 5 games left of FM22 Mercenary. It's Milan tonight with a 3-1 lead from the first leg before we take on Bologna, a game where we could clinch the league title depending on what Milan do, before a home game against 17th place Lecce and a game to end the season against 20th place Spezia. You'd have to say that should mean that a Serie A title is likely, but we'd like to end things with a game against PSG or Rennes in the Europa League final. We'll show you the league position so you can see the situation we are in. We have a 6-point lead at the top of the table with 9 points still to play for. If we were to win that next game against Bologna and Milan were to slip up, we could be champions in the next game before we have games against Lecce and Spezia to try and wrap it up if we need to. But tonight, we've got to focus on Milan and getting to the final of a European competition, because what a game that would be to finish Mercenary with. For this crucial game, our formation will be unaltered, but our side will be slightly rotated. We've had a lot of games recently, and we have a very small squad with very few able backups on the bench. So today we're bringing Strawberry Daiquiri in after he stepped out for the last game, and we're going to bring in Frank Kessie to play as a deep-lying playmaker. At 36 years old, I don't know whether that's his ideal role. He's more of a defensive-minded player, really. But Donny van der Beek himself, at the veteran stage, also at 36, he is really struggling to keep up with the intensity of the games that we're playing. So we're going to bring him out of the side today and go for fresh legs over creative talent. We have got a 3-1 lead, but an early goal for Milan will make this a nervy encounter. Let's remind you of the quality they've got in their side. Pep Guardiola's Milan have faltered recently by dropping points against Roma and Torino, as well as the European defeat to us. But Milan Bozicic is a dangerous frontman who scored against us in the first leg, and he'll be backed up by veterans such as Tonali and Valverde. Maybe the man we're pinning our hopes on is Mike Mannion, who was catastrophic against us in the league earlier in the season, and looked none too convincing in the first leg either. Victors look likely to take on PSG as Lazio face Milan. So we are underway. We've got to keep our eye on the Rennes PSG score as well, because that is still a very narrow score line, as it looked like PSG had an early injury in that game. But in ours, I feel like this first goal could be key. At 3-0 up in the first leg, we looked comfortable, but my goodness, we've gone a goal down early in the second, and I thought that goal they scored in the first leg could be crucial, and so it might prove, because Milan have come out firing in this game in front of their own fans as Hill towers above our defence, heads home from the penalty spot, 1-0 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate. And I was about to say I thought the first goal in this game could be crucial as we pause, because Rennes have equalised against PSG in their game. Who's going to be in the final of this Europa League? He's now very much in the balance. We've offered absolutely nothing so far in this game. Milan have made all the running. They've had 7 shots, 3 of them on target. Now we have a set play that Reska heads over the bar. That's as close as we've come. And Milan are looking very eager to try and equalise with a goal before half-time that would probably make them favourites to go through. Salamakers brings the ball forward, and they have had a chance. Cerefalini somehow gets something on it, and it goes behind for a corner. We are looking incredibly shaky now. The players have played a lot of games over recent weeks. We don't have the squad deep enough to rotate very much, and our big players are starting to look tired. We have at least had 4 shots now, although only 1 of them is on target, as Rennes are 2-1 up against PSG on the night. That game is poised at 2-2. Ours is there at 3-2. Where are we going to be at full time? We have got some very poor performances out on the pitch as we kick off the second half by giving away a free kick that Fernandez is going to try and curl towards goal. Fortunately for us, it's gone over, but Milan have started the second half with all of the vigour that they ended the first. Here is the goal scorer, Hill, who's managed to get the ball into midfield and then out to Salamakers. And now back to Tomori. There's plenty of experience in this Milan side as Tonali sees it through to the diminutive Jimenez. And France has now broken through. We're relying on Cerefalini once more. I don't think we can get through this game without conceding again. I think we need to try and score a goal of our own to try and take the wind out of Milan's sails. We've got the ball on the edge of the area. We've headed it clear, but France has picked it up again. Fernandez gets it to Jimenez, to Tonali. Hill is through. This would be the equaliser. Cerefalini is performing heroics, but we're only 4 minutes into this second half, and already Milan have had 2 gilt-edged chances as Gaia brings the ball away from a corner on the counter for us. He sends it to Alexi. Can he at least just get us some territory in Milan's half of the pitch? Gaia gives the ball away, and now we've got work to do once more. Reska does it. Pembele and Milenkovic tidy up. We're going to pause the game because on 52 minutes, we are being run ragged. And I think we need to try and get control of this game. So despite his fitness issues, Donny van der Beek has just come off the bench. We're going to try and get another, 40 minutes of football out of him, because we are looking ragged and we are looking wasteful in possession. And Milan smell blood as they come forward once more. Hill, who's been a thorn in our side all game, gets the ball through, and Tonali has a go. And it is now 3-3 on aggregate, 2-0 to Milan on the night. And it's Franz Ferdinand who has scored, and I would now make Milan favourites to go through, and deservedly so. In the first leg, we were coasting. We could have scored more than the 3 goals that we did. In fact, we had an XG of above a 4 in that game. We allowed Milan to score that 1 goal back on the night, and they have made us pay, because now they are tied at 3-3, but looking the only team likely to score another goal. Then we're going to have to make another change. So we have made changes. In fact, we've changed systems. We've gone to a flat back 4 in the hope it might just unsettle Milan, and Alexi goes through, and the change has had an instant impact as Alexi has a good chance that Mannion, special agent Mannion, because secretly he plays for us, sees around the post. From the corner, Milenkovic has a header. And finally, we're looking a little more likely. Rennes and PSG are still locked at 2-1. Both ties are still level at aggregate as we get to 80 minutes now. We've still got 1 substitution that we could make, 2 substitutions that we could make. But we have got to try and navigate this highlight first. Milan are coming forward. A goal here would be a hammer blow for our chances. And Bruno Fernandes has the ball, moves it to Valverde. We've won it back and we've gone long. And we've given the ball away and we've got to win it back all over again. Salamakers popping up on the left, having spent the game on the right. And now Hickey bursts into the box and they have hit the post and the ball is bobbling around. We are living on our wits at the moment as Daiquiri fires another one clear. Alexi wins his header. We're going to pause. We're going to go into the highlights. What other changes can we make? Well, it looks like there are plenty of players that could come off, but the two that are playing the worst seem to be Jose Gaia, who has been booked, and Jorge Rodriguez, which is disappointing because Rodriguez is one of our better players, but we can bring Jurendic into midfield for him, and we can bring Gaia off for Vinya at left back without really weakening our team. We've still got some very tired legs, and Jurendic might just rotate, I think, with Zakarian in that central midfield area. And let's just even this up by moving Alexi over to the other side for this last 10 minutes of the game to see if he can press against the other centre-back and have any more luck. We've got 5 minutes left to play. This could be heading to extra time. And we've got Vinya freshly installed onto the pitch over a free kick that he sends to Zakarian. Jurendic, here is Alexi, and he's had an effort with the outside of his foot that's gone wide of the goal, but we've looked better since we made those changes. We're into stoppage time. Milan have a corner. We've just got to get it away. Jurendic gets up and wins it. Franz Ferdinand is chasing after it. There's 2 minutes left to play, and it struck the post again. That cross has gone all the way through, and it looks like both ties are on the cusp of extra time. Milan have got another corner. A goal here will end it. We won't have time to respond. They've hit the bar again. The keeper has potentially seen a penalty, has he? Surely we're not going out to a last-minute penalty. It is a penalty review. They're always given, and it is given. What on earth has happened in there? I saw nothing. Was it a handball? Was it a foul? And we're relying on Cerefellini. We're over the 4 minutes of stoppage time. There will be no chance to equalise if this goes in. Bruno Fernandes steps up. And 3-1 from the first leg is 3-0 on the night in the second leg. And we're heading out 4-3 on aggregate. And my goodness, this is more painful than COVID. A last-minute penalty for an incident that I didn't quite see. And what looked like it could have been a routine second leg has proved to be a bit of a nightmare. The only silver lining is that PSG have also left it late. They've won their tie against Rennes in the 121st minute, so at least we've not passed up a final against Rennes. But this is still incredibly painful. The only way that we can atone for it is in our next episode, our last of FM22 Mercenary, to see if we can wrap up the Scudetto and break Milan hearts that way.